Hello and welcome to Two Therapists and a Microphone. I am Dr. Harrison Davis.
And I'm Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
Two Therapists and a Microphone is a show about relationships, mental health, and social issues that personally affect you. We air live every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. on the Our Black Media Network.
We are two licensed psychotherapists with decades of clinical experience, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear about your situations or dilemmas that you're going through. So please send your questions by visiting our webpage. It's www.twotherapists.com. You can click on Ask Two Therapists and at the top of the page, and type your question in there. We'll answer it here
Absolutely.
live.
Yeah, we sure will. So today is a Hot Topics Day, and there is certainly a hot topic that Dr.
Mhm.
Aisha and I are going to talk about today. It's about a viral video that I'm aware of, and Dr. Aisha is aware of, about a black female therapist. What city is it? Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland is what I saw when I did my deep internet
Your
dive
your
today.
your, your research.
Yeah, I'm really good at that. I'm good at internet research.
Yeah. So this therapist who is fully licensed,
Hmm.
black female, black woman, and she decided she does videos on TikTok, and I guess she gives some advice and she talks about things. They're a little bit humorous sometimes, but she decided to do a video on encouraging black men to seek out counseling.
I mean, I'm not sure if encouraging is the word I would use, but I think we can play it for our audience and let them see if they think it's encouraging. I felt like it was the opposite when I listened to it. So
Gotcha. And we must warn you, there are a lot lot of profane words in
that's
this
a nice way to put
video,
it.
but
She
I'm
is
pretty
cussing up a storm.
she
Okay.
is. And it's for a certain audience. So if you have kids around you and you don't want them to hear the language, tell them to get the hell out. But this is for grown folk and particularly for therapists. I would love to hear from you guys, black therapists in particular, about your thoughts, and then members of the black community who seek out therapists. Let us know what you think about this. So let me go ahead and hook this up. Give me just a second and share screen. Tab. I should have already queued this up. Share.
That's okay. Just be
And
aware, y'all. If you when you see it, although she's a therapist and she talks about being a therapist, this is her in real life on her TikTok, and it hasn't been taken down, so she's doubling down. I want to mention that.
so again, there's a lot of profane words here, just but I want you guys to listen to it because we're going to talk about this. And Dr. H and I are going to take a deep dive into all the dynamics that are part of this. Let me go ahead and hit play.
Is smart. This is the exact Blah. The comment says, I wish men would understand that emotional intelligence is so important because of how much clarity/security it would bring to your lives. Y'all think bitches just be talking in y'all ear just to be fucking talking. We don't. Y'all think bitches just want to argue with y'all because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary. We don't. It's to provide clarity for both us and y'all dusty bitches. Let me stop. This shit really truly irks me because when I say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary, it's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with Schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. this fucking weird ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bro. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us, it's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy, talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up. Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards. And at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. All right. Go in peace.
One second.
He caught y'all guard at the end, huh? That ass
Whoa.
at the end.
So I want you to go first. What reaction did you have?
That we're all working towards being fully licensed, and we're hoping that supervision gets us to the point where we make better decisions as licensed clinicians when we call ourselves licensed clinicians. So my initial thoughts are, number one, where did you go to school? Number two, who was your clinical supervisor? And number three, do you not receive any consultation at this point? I saw from looking at her profile that she is 27 years old. And that, that immediately made me look through and ask each of my supervisees, what are you doing on TikTok? What are you doing on Instagram? I talked to some other more seasoned clinicians, and apparently some of them have policies about this, but it made me start like listing out, who do I have that's 27 and under, or basically under 30, and what are they saying on TikTok? There is a huge difference between being you as, you're living your best life, and you as a therapist. Me as Dr. Dickerson, the therapist, is completely different than Aisha Dam Dickerson. That's a completely different person. Now, if I'm out here and gonna cuss everybody out, nowhere in there am I going to mention, now, first of all, I'm not doing that anymore. But nowhere in there am I going to mention that I am a therapist and list that some of the reasons I'm saying this is because me as a clinician. And now let me say, my initial thought was one of the misconceptions is that 90% of her clients are male. Girl, ain't nobody thinks that 90% of your clients are male. You just coming up with numbers.
I heard that.
Pulling numbers out the air. Nobody believes that about you. Harrison, you're a black man, and I don't believe 90% of your clients are black men.
That's correct. They're not. No. It's more like 50% are black men. But my I hear you talking about, it sort of warned you a little bit. Let me check on my supervisees.
What are these babies out here doing?
And questioning her training. I must admit, the first time, that wasn't my first time hearing it. It's just the language and the energy, it hits me. And I don't want anyone to think I'm a prude, just like Dr. Aisha mentioned. There is Dr. Davis, and then there's Harrison, and then there's Harrison on the weekends. But they're different individuals. But made me wonder, what was she trying to accomplish here, by admonishing part of her clientele, her customer base. That's the approach that I was thinking. Who is she talking to? Is she one of those black females who only want black female clients? I know some like that. But she was trying to reach out, and so I was confused, to be honest with you. And then the language was so hard, and I was also thinking, are you trying to attract customers to you?
I heard when I listened to her, this is all I got from that, was that probably the day before that, some man hurt her. Somebody ghosted her. Somebody said something ugly to her, and she said, "I'm going to make a TikTok about it." But I'm going to say that it's because I'm a therapist and not because I'm butthurt from some raggedy man.
Yeah, I said that it seemed awfully personal, You
Mhm.
know, like it came from a deep place, not providing a suggestion. Hey, you brothers need to go out there and seek some counseling. You know, it can help out with your relationships and life satisfaction. I guess that's my language.
Your
But
language was much better. I liked your language was more. The word you used earlier was encouraging. Your
yes,
language was encouraging.
that's why I was confused as I was reading reactions. We're gonna talk about that real soon too. Reading reactions to her and like what was she trying to accomplish? Is she pushing them away? Is she one of those extreme black female feminists? That's I also wondered that, but I didn't get the rationale behind it. But I do see your point about questioning her training,
Hmm.
and her clinical supervisor, before she got her full licensure with that, but what I wrote down, I wrote that I think I'm getting older.
Harrison, it made me wonder if I was that much older. I like to still kind of consider
Because
myself
you're much younger than I am,
young,
Aisha.
but I felt like a old lady. Like I just wanted to snatch up. Come here, girl.
Because you're a
Sit down.
parent. Because you're a parent. That's
and,
right. It is.
and a supervisor.
Yeah.
If this were one of my supervisees, I would have to take that off of TikTok, girl. I would have to get them. One of my
Yeah.
students, I'm reaching out. So, although she came in under the guise of encouragement, what I saw was that black men would have felt attacked.
Yeah.
They would have felt talked down to, and in fact,
Because she was attacking black men.
in fact, I as a black woman felt attacked. Bitches be doing this, and y'all think these bitches. Did she just call me a bitch? I mean, y'all
and men,
MFs and
and
bitches
men,
ain't
black
pussy.
men are dusty. I don't even know what that means. But the thing I was thinking, what happened to personal brand? What happened to you owning your business and you are representing your business? This is how you pay your bills. This is how you take care of you, do the things you want to do. What happened to personal brand? And appearing professional in your business in such a public area. This isn't a little conversation with some of her girlfriends, in a party on a Friday night. She turned on a camera, and called people dusty and bitches, and really attack people. What happened to personal brand? That's
Well,
what I want to ask.
it seems to me that maybe she was trying to build a brand, but I mean, I won't say she failed, but unfortunately for her, she worked for someone else's company and they
Yep.
refused to allow her to be a part of their brand. It looks like, or from what I read, she posted that on a Monday and she
Yes.
was fired on Friday
Yes.
because you can't represent someone else's brand like that. As soon as people Googled Shabri Rawls, that's her name, up came Grow Well Cleveland. And Growell was like, oh, no, 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 no. We're not having that. Not only because, eventually they saw the TikTok, but apparently, from what she posted in later videos, people were calling her job, telling them what she said on TikTok, saying that they
Absolutely.
felt offended, saying that she went too far. I took it upon myself to check out Grow Well Cleveland, Harrison. And I clicked through all the people who worked there. What I saw was 10 white women, 5 white men, 1 black woman, now that she's no longer there, and 1
But there
black
were two
man.
originally.
Yes, there were 2. Now there's 1. And 1 black man. You think these white folks were going to let you be
Let me
on
tell you, if
TikTok?
I get that. I get that. I'm with you on that. But even if I owned a counseling agency where I employ, you just named maybe 17, 18 therapists working there, then you need some administrative staff. If
Mhm.
I own a large practice like that, I wouldn't want her representing me. I wouldn't want her to represent my agency and damaging some of the reputations of the other therapists who were there. Again, going back, what was her brand? What did she think about it? Was this part of a plan? And like you said, was she thinking about her employer? She doesn't have a private practice. She
Right.
gets a paycheck from
Okay.
an employer, and it looks like she never checked in to see how they feel about it.
I have multiple therapists working under me, and at least 4 to 5 of them are her age or younger. And three, almost four, one's about to graduate, are Black women. And if they posted that on TikTok, that Georgia being an at will state, they would be gone.
Which
I
means you
would,
can
you know,
fire
do
them without any reason.
but I would still sit down with them and, try to mentor as much as I can in the middle of firing them, and so that I could tell them how they could be better in the next job. But
Yes.
I guess we did play the
But
TikTok,
there's a
but
part two.
there is.
Hold that thought, and then let me just hook it up so you guys can see her reaction about a week later after the
Mhm.
original video where she's calling people bitches and thirsty and
Yeah.
dusty. Hold on one second. Let me
Yeah.
get this going.
So while
And
Harrison is pulling up, you got to understand that she doubled down
yep.
and she gave a little more information about who she is as a clinician. But this is almost 5, 6, 7 days after getting on here and saying, not that Black men need to get therapy, but that you dusty MFs need to do such and such and get some emotional intelligence because bitches ain't putting up with this and this and that.
All right, here we go. Here's the response to the original video that she posted. Let me know if you can hear it, Aisha.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go.
Friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence. And I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable, like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted Massa. That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter because y'all need fucking help. And y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not going to be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We starting a discussion on mental health and people you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, shaking the tables. I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a Black woman who serves the fucking Black community. There were comments like, I'm going to find her credentials and report her because I told y'all to be better. Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect Black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this Black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm going to outline each one. This article was written by a fucking Black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a Black woman can't fake, kind of fucking hurts. And she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only did she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go to fucking therapy. Y'all attacked me and got mad at me because I wanted better for y'all. That's the most crab in the barrel bucket type bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. A plethora of Black men decided to take it upon themselves to call my employment to get me fired. You succeeded, but you succeeded in not the way that you think. If it's one thing about Black women is that we're incredibly resilient. This just cleared the table to give me space and opportunity to educate the masses while shaking our asses to healing because y'all got mad because I wanted you to do better. I was told they consulted with shareholders and decided to terminate my contract because I told y'all to go to therapy. That's the world we live in.
All right.
So I hope that she can make as much money or at least $1 per TikTok follower, because I mean, she's still doing this stuff for clicks and likes. And is that making you money? There
Nope.
are people who make money on TikTok. And what I gather is that that's not you. I don't see any endorsements. All I see is you doubling down
And blaming others.
and taking no accountability for what you did. I can say I did this incorrectly. I could have done this better. Instead, this black woman wrote an article about me. It hurts. You black men called my office. The shareholders did such and such. So what's your next step? More
Yeah.
TikTok videos for no money. I hope. I mean, at least I don't know. Not Oprah. Oprah won't do it. Maybe Wendy Williams. I'll bring you on the show or something. You can maybe the Today Show won't want you either. The Chew, the View, the Somebody Who Likes Mess. Maybe they'll
Well,
bring you on.
and I mentioned this to you earlier, Aisha, before we went on air. I'm sort of conflicted. There's a part of me, that feels sorry for her. It's like she hasn't received appropriate guidance, from that clinical supervisor, that seasoned veteran clinical supervisor like yourself and myself, who can guide her through this situation and help her to create an intention, that can be received by other people. Because what has happened, like you mentioned, she lost her job. And this is the response. Now people attack you. We're going to talk about that in a minute, and whether or not that is fair. But what I really want to ask to get your opinion about this, because you're younger than I am, I think.
Not much though.
X generation versus millennials.
See, I'm in the middle. I got all of that.
I'm full X. I'm full X generation.
I'm what's called an Xennial.
So right in the middle, I got you. But I recognize the power of social media. I got my what is it called, Instagram account when we first started our podcast.
I remember.
And I really haven't done a whole lot with it. but more about a year and a half ago or so, I just decided to use it as my personal brand. It's not my Facebook, which is all personal, friends and family only. I can use this to promote me and our show. And so I befriended a lot of therapists out there. But I noticed the things that they're posting, it made me question, are you a therapist? Are you looking for clients? Or are you looking for a man? I couldn't tell if it, was a photo for a dating app. It certainly isn't something I would encourage individuals to do. And then I saw one therapist years ago, she had on a tight little outfit, boobs hanging out, look cute, and then it was the caption, "I'm that therapist other therapists are talking about." And that's not a good thing.
I was like, what are they saying?
Is it because I'm a Generation X guy? I'm older, I'm having a hard time understanding this desire to damage your brand so publicly, and attaching it to her profession. This wasn't her personal page.
That's the problem. So I do believe, and I engage in social media a lot. I just got TikTok, but it's just so I could watch the funny videos. But I do think that our audiences want to see a little bit about us. They want to know that not only do we have this clinical expertise that we know what we're talking about, but that we're real people. Maybe, just how we talk about in therapy, you have a little bit of self-disclosure. I can tell you I have kids without telling you where they go to school and, all of my business. I could show you that I work out and I like to look good without showing you who I went on a date with and all of that. I do realize that TikTok is bigger. It's bigger than it was even last year when it comes to making money. I know a therapist in particular who I follow her on TikTok, and I know her personally, Dr. Shayna. I want to say Shayna's last name is Lewis, and Shayna does some great things, and she did some stuff at the Essence Festival, and she was on the Ryan and Kelly show, and if I wanted to look at a therapist on TikTok, she is who I think other people should emulate when they're thinking, I want to be a therapist and a coach to be on TikTok. She's cool. She's fly. She is not berating other people and saying,
insulting
right,
people.
Exactly. So Here's the thing. This young woman, and I hated this, is a whole licensed professional counselor. And for those
Yes,
of
she
you who
is.
aren't familiar with that, that means that she doesn't have any supervision or anything. When people say therapist, that could be LPCs, that could be licensed clinical social workers, sometimes addictions counselors, or
Marriage and family
life coaches,
therapist.
right? Marriage and family therapist. So she's an LPC, just like I'm an LPC. So
Same here.
I hated it because I was like, Lord, let her be a social worker, but she was not.
You didn't want her to embarrass us
I
in
didn't.
our
Please,
profession.
please be a social worker. She was not a social worker. Now, the reason I'm saying all of this is because the American Counseling Association's Code of Ethics says that you need to separate a personal profile and
Yep.
a if you're going to have a profile saying anything about counseling or therapy, it needs to be separate from your personal life. And here she thought that she had successfully merged the two, and
Mm,
clearly she had not. I think
mm.
you can successfully merge the two. I don't think that it has to be two completely separate things, but she didn't do that successfully.
Yeah. I question her intentions,
Hmm.
with the whole thing. And, I'm not a prude, and we get those, clients, Daryl, Lakeisha, from the,
They,
from the hood, and they like to talk a certain way,
hmm.
and they don't have to explain things to us.
Right.
We get it, and I might even return some of the language,
Hmm.
because I can relate to some of it, but that's in a private session,
Right. That's in the office.
and I decided consciously to do that with that client because they gave it to me consistently. And so okay, I can give a little bit back to them, and they get it, they understand it. So I get it. She's trying to relate to this younger hip hop. I call it the hip hop crowd. I don't know what else to call it. Where they appreciate that language, that linguistic style. Did I say that? And how she's delivering the information. But the question I wonder is it wise to show that publicly? I
Well,
admit there, and this, there are some clients out there who would love that type of engagement
yeah.
in the counseling session, but we don't publicize it.
What I do in the counseling sessions are strictly geared towards my individual client. Just the
Yeah.
same way I wouldn't tell their business on social media, I'm not going to be out shaking. I mean, she had a little shake, had a little ass slapping, and her TikToks. I wouldn't be doing that out in public. I'm not going to be doing that in the session either.
What was that for? Who was that
Shit.
for?
Well, she said it cleared the table. What you all have done by getting her fired is successfully clearing the table so that she can put whatever it is she wants to put out there. But whatever, still, if you're going to continue to put that out there, how just make sure you're going to be able to pay your bills. That's all I'm saying.
So what's the
Clicks
lesson
and
here?
clicks and likes do
Yeah.
not pay your bills.
Yeah. So what's the lesson here? I even thought about public school teachers,
Hmm.
and work in
Oh
public
yeah.
schools. My two sisters are school counselors in public schools, and they monitor their social media and only let certain people in. I
Yeah.
like that. And I just can't imagine a teacher doing that same thing, talking about the black boys in the class and the bitches, and everything, and then going back to school in a high school and thinking that she still has a job. What's the lesson here that we want the audience to know? And you guys can chime in too. What's the big lesson here?
Practice within your scope of competence. So one video you all didn't see, there's one where she has on a
The gray
gray,
sweatshirt?
right, the gray
I can
sweatshirt.
play it. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
play it?
play it right quick because there are some things that I want to point out about what she, because before the video you all just saw, she was doubling down. But by the time she gets to this grace with, I mean, it's like the stages of grief. Now she's on TikTok crying, but again, she's still taking no accountability. She's talking about what these people did to her that is now not only hurting her, apparently, according to what she says, is also hurting her clients. But what I got from listening to her is that her clientele wasn't who she said her clientele was. Go ahead, Harrison.
See what she got to say.
Hey guys, firstly, I want to say thank you guys so much for
Change the tone.
the overwhelming support in all of this. But I want to just like hit a couple points really quick to just like help you guys understand better what's going on. So long story short, I posted some stuff on Monday, was literally fired on Friday, telling people to go to therapy. And a lot of people got upset and attempted to hurt me, but I want you guys to understand that you didn't just hurt me. Yeah, I may have lost my employment, but all of the clients that I've had that I've spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years with establishing therapeutic
I feel
rapport,
bad for.
now no longer have a therapist. The people that I was serving have very severe mental disorders, severe abandonment issues. Some of them don't even have parents. Some of them have just recently come down, and I was helping them process cancer diagnoses. So while you guys did this shit for clicks and views, my clients lost a support system. I've worked with these people for years, and now they don't have anyone. I don't know what I would do if my therapist was just axed immediately with no warning. So a lot of you guys who have reported me to my employer, whatever, have done irreparable damage, and I need you to sit with that. The doxing has not stopped. I had to change my phone number because someone, under the guise of wanting to protect me, tried to ambush me in a YouTube live. And it's terrifying. As a woman, getting random text messages, that shit's fucking terrifying. So not only do my boundaries continuously keep being violated, my clients, their treatment has stopped.
Okay.
So I hear that you feel bad for her. Maybe it's
I do.
right?
I'm conflicted. Yeah, she made a mistake. She messed up, you know.
But she still hasn't owned that. Even in that video,
yeah,
she hasn't owned the mistake. It's still, now it's not just, before it was y'all hurt me. Now it's, you don't
hurt the
feel bad
clients.
enough. You didn't just hurt me, you hurt other people. And she said, now my clients don't have a therapist. Pause. Yes, they do. It just ain't you anymore.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing that video. I felt sorry for her, but she's she's biting that bullet, and maybe she hasn't taken full responsibility for her actions and her conscious decision to turn on that camera, you know, because I see a completely different person right here. She looks defeated right here. But as adults, you know, we make decisions. There are consequences, you know, to our decisions. And she came back. There are several videos. We're just not going to show the rest of them because I think that was enough, you know, where she, like you said, she doubled down. And it's like, I don't know if she's fully learned a lesson here.
I don't hear that
you're not 15 in your parents' house, you know, making a mistake at school. You got to rebound. You know, you got to do more than write an apology letter here. You got to completely redeem herself, you know, with that. So I don't know if she's completely taking full responsibility for, you know. And how did people get her number? And I
Google, but because
a personal number.
I imagine, this is why if you're that reckless with social media, you're probably so reckless that I Google myself regularly just to make sure that my home address and my phone number is not on the internet. Maybe that comes with working as a therapist for years. I know that the internet will pop your stuff up on there at some point. So I make sure my stuff is not on there. But I imagine that she just didn't really think about that. I saw that one of our viewers just said she learned nothing. And that's what I got from that. It's just that she just wants y'all to feel worse for her. She was saying, if you have no empathy for me, have empathy for my clients. They have nobody. They lost their support. And to that, I say, as someone who has had to let people go in the past, there are almost 20 other therapists at that job. They have someone. It's not you. Some of them will find a therapist at another agency, but the large majority of them are going to be okay.
Yes, they are. They're going to reassign them to a new therapist.
Cleveland.
And there are plenty of therapists out there who are willing to take them on. You know, so one of the lessons that I was thinking about, you know, she talked about boundaries, you know, in that last video, and people apparently crossing boundaries with her, you know, but what about your boundaries, young lady? You know, and social media, and revealing so much of you to the public and admonishing people that I believe are your clients, your customers. What were you imagining was going to happen, if you scold them, that, oh, I want to go to her, so I don't know. She has a lot of reflecting to
Well, the
do.
thing to me is that I don't even think that that's her customer base, because in that last video she said my clients have SMIs, that's severe mental illnesses. They have no family, or they found out they have a cancer diagnosis. But
Yeah.
when she says SMI, she means that some of her clients have severe depression, they have schizophrenia. That's not who you were trying to give information to. And your TikTok, you were just trying to give it out to who you felt were sorry black men who couldn't communicate. It
Dusty.
doesn't, right? Dusty black. It doesn't sound like your regular dusty black man is your identified clientele, but that's who you felt like you wanted to give advice to. And I could give advice. I could give it advice to black men all
Yep.
the time, but I'm not
Yep.
going to say as a therapist, because the truth is I don't see a whole lot of black men. Most of the black men I dealt with in my life is my personal life.
Gotcha. Well, I got a lot of brothers coming through my office, and they're coming back too, the ones who stopped during the
Mhm.
pandemic. But I wanted to ask the audience if you guys can chime in. The videos that we saw, would that make you want to go see this
Good
therapist?
question.
That's the question. You guys just chime in just a little bit. Is that was that appealing to you? Like, oh, I like her style. Oh, she said bitches. Let me know if that was something for you that would attract you. And I got a LOL. She must have went through a recent breakup. And who's this?
Hell no.
Ridiculous. Hell no. And someone else said nope. And absolutely not. So you guys sort of confirm my thought. I
She says
talked
she needs
earlier.
therapy
Yeah.
herself.
Her personal brand, she didn't think about it. She didn't think this through. She may be accustomed to hanging out socially with that hip hop crowd, her girlfriends, other people that she hang out with, and that's their language. That's cool. I'm not criticizing that at all. But I guess she imagined that she can share that side with the general public. The black folks who go to church, the black folks who have kids and they're trying to be responsible, black folks who are trying to get it on, on their feet, after the pandemic, black people who are trying to get those student loans taken care of, and she who are trying to make sure their kids aren't using that type of language. She thought that she can connect with them.
I'm having a hard time believing that even the people who were hyping her up in the comments would be willing to be her clients. They were hyping you up and
I've seen
encouraging
them.
you. Well,
Like,
and
girl, how can I
encouraging
help
you
you? How can I
to double
support you?
that. But then how are
Yep.
they? What are they going to do? Send you $5 on your Cash App that you gave at the end of the TikTok? Are they going to find you and then be a paying client for you? If there are therapists who agree with you, are they going to help you get a job at their agency? Or is this still you? She said,
It was a
while
risk.
y'all did this for clicks and views.
No,
Hold
she
on.
did that for clicks and
She
views.
like literally all you have gotten is clicks and views, unless you're working on a now you might be working on a contract I know nothing about, but I know that me as a black woman watching that video, and I'm not a black man, so I can't say she's turning me away because she's talking about me. But what I am saying is, if I felt that negatively about black men, I still wouldn't come see you. Because
Yep.
if I'm coming to therapy, it's because I want to calm down and get that hate up out my heart. And you sound like you just gonna have me out there slapping people.
Yeah, you just pointed out something. My initial reaction the first time I saw the first video, it was the negative energy that she was giving out. That I was thinking, oh, who do you counsel? Who are the people you're talking to? It was not only the words, and the consistent profanity, but the energy that was there. But I am a black man, and let me tell you, there was nothing about that video, her delivery, her language that made me think, oh, I want to go talk to her. She can really help me out. I don't know any brothers that are like that, so I hope she recovers and learns some lessons, maybe get a clinical supervisor, a
Well,
black
I mean,
male.
she's done with the supervision, but what I will
I
say,
know, but she can
I'll
still get
say
it.
this: she can. I will say that because she is an LPC, and I do want, Black women as a whole to be successful, and especially Black female therapists. That if you want to find me, I will do that consultation for you. I will talk to you.
Yeah,
And I'll do it for free
I'll do it too. I
because
I,
I'm
I actually want
wondering
to
if
help.
I imagine that the people who need to reach out to you haven't reached out to you. Now
Yeah,
that's not going to say I'm about to send you a DM and reach out to you, but if someone sends you my information, I am happy to talk to you via Zoom.
yeah. I actually would love to talk to her. A private
Hmm.
conversation.
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
even
even
come back on
share
here
it.
and talk about it.
It's
Yep.
not. We're not going to do it on air. I want to help you, sister. Let's talk about what you did. Your intentions. What were you hoping to do, and then the consequences of some of your conscious decisions. And think about your own personal brand. This is your money. This is what did Beyonce say? This is your paper, and you just messed it up. So I wouldn't mind talking to her, but I saw those reactions, that she was getting, and it looked like a lot of the women were, supporting her. Girl, how can I support you? Was something I kept seeing over and over and over again. And you should start your own practice. And I also saw a hell of a lot of what I believe were Black men who were coming out, and they're the ones who did all the legwork. Call her agency. Someone tried to report her to the licensing board. And apparently they got her phone number. And so the other part of this, just to shift just a little bit. What does that say about Black men and the reaction that she got? I get it. I'm not condoning what she said, what she did, but the Black men who did not receive the message, the content that she was trying to deliver, and then they decided, in her own words, to attack her, and they did. They got her canceled from her job. What does that say about Black men? Are we that fragile that we would go through something extreme like that to hurt someone because they admonished us about something that many of us do? What do you think about that?
Well, so I think that it could be one of two things. It could be a black man, what they say, a hit dog, a holler. It could be a hit dog who hollered. Right, yep.
There we
He
go.
could be feeling bad, and it hurt him so bad that he was going to go after this young woman he didn't even know. Now, on the
Yeah.
flip side, it could be Black men who have been actually encouraging Black men to go to therapy, and they feel like she set them back,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
I
they're
saw that.
upset that I've
Yeah.
been working and I have these nonprofits, or I'm a Black male therapist, and I actually do the work of advocating concerning mental health and convincing Black men that they need to go to therapy. And because of your video, a lot of them are like, no, because therapists to get on TikTok and call us dusty and toxic, and be talk about our bitches and stuff, because she just bitches do this and that.
Yeah, I heard that.
But so it could be one of two things.
Yeah, I saw that too. People commenting. I got something up now. I'm just going to read it to you guys. The practice of the practice of disregarding, cussing out, and labeling Black males as immature,
Mhm.
pathological, and emotionally or psychologically underdeveloped is done. Black men should organize with professionals and organizations to deal with this behavior. Yeah, lashing out at people trying to help you is so ridiculous, is what somebody said. I want so much better for my people. Many just aren't ready. Please go send Bree some love if you can. That's from some the comments that I saw. But you're right. I was also equally concerned about the Black men. I didn't like what she said, but I'm not gonna do anything to you. But they decided to get on their computer, find where she worked, where she lived, her phone number, and try to lash back out. I am maybe I'm not maybe the only one that really concerned about that, because she called you out. I'm not disagreeing with the content, maybe she need to clarify not all black men, because there are some black women like that too.
That's true.
But I'm equally as concerned about those black men who became so angry that they decided to get her back because they did it.
Okay.
Are
And
we
they
that
won.
fragile?
You tell me, Harrison, do you think y'all are that fragile?
Well,
I don't,
there-
I'm not like her. I don't want to speak for someone I can't, I can't relate.
I am surprised by the response, but the answer to that question is yeah. There are a lot of black men in our society here in the U.S. who are in a fragile emotional state,
Mhm.
and some psychologically, that can crack under something like this. These are the men who would physically attack someone,
Mhm.
who insults them like that in person, but they couldn't do that, so they decided to get her in the paycheck, the bank account. But they went through some great lengths, and I'm like, guys, did you have to do that to the sister? Did you really have to go that low because you didn't like what you said? We got the power of the social media. You can respond back, and they did. But it's just so many of them went so far, and I think that was part of the hurt that I detected in her.
Mhm.
That black people were primarily men were attacking her because she thought she was trying to help. So that was a question I
By
wanted to throw out
attacking
there.
them, she thought that she was trying to help by
Yep, that's what she
verbally.
said.
Well, and the thing is, her whole video was about their emotional intelligence and verbal intelligence. But how was anything that she said verbally? And I did not feel or hear a speck of intelligence in her
I didn't hear
initial
any
TikTok.
encouragement. I didn't hear any encouragement.
I worried about her emotional intelligence because she was angry and then she was pause and play. And y'all MS need to do that and pause
Yep.
and play. Like it had
Yeah.
to have taken a lot of time. A lot of time that maybe you should have taken reading a book, even if it's a social media marketing book, because there was
Yep.
just so
Yep.
much that was wrong there.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, you got to know your audience. I think you and I, we know our audience. We know some lines that we should not cross.
Yeah.
On this video on the show, and there's some lines that we can cross in the private counseling session. But I don't think she knows the audience. I don't think she realizes what anticipated how people are going to respond, because she really don't know. But she took a lot of time out to tell us what we're like.
Yeah.
And what good for. So that's a lesson, that she learned. But I must admit, I am surprised by.
I mean, she did everything she said wasn't wrong. Women definitely aren't putting up with verbal abuse as much as they used to when they have, gotten to a better point in their life where they don't just deal with men dogging them out. And yes, men who do not communicate
Yep.
need to work on communicating. Girl, that could have been a 30-second video. Say it just like I said at the
And
end.
it could have been positive. It could have been encouraging, and then you could have grown your practice. You could have gotten some new clients that are out there, and maybe people could have talked about you a little bit differently.
And you still could have slapped your ass at the end, and you
Yeah, if
wouldn't
you
have been
wanted
fired.
to, but I don't know. I guess, like I said earlier, I'm getting older. All the profanity, I would never do that on camera. It's on camera, and then say, I'm Dr. Davis, and I have a practice here, and you bitches, and it just sounds weird. But anyway, any final thoughts from you, Aisha, on this topic? This has been a hot topic.
I have two different final thoughts. My first final thought is for young novice or even older novice therapists. Be aware of what you put on social media. And even if you're not on social media, be aware of how you act and interact in public whenever you say that you're a therapist. That's number one. And number two, just for the community, I do want to say it is important that Black men go to therapy. But
Yep.
actually, to me, it's important that everyone go to therapy. I think that anyone who has issues communicating could benefit from therapy. Remember that there doesn't have to be anything wrong for you to see a counselor.
I agree with all of that. And also, as someone who advocates for all Black folks to go to therapy, I really focus a lot on Black men going to therapy, and this was a missed opportunity with this young lady to connect with that particular population. And some of them want to go see a female therapist to get a female perspective. And I completely understand that. But, you sort of close that door just a little bit. And then to see the immaturity come up within you on blaming everybody for the risk that you took, because you didn't know your audience. You don't know how to connect with your audience, and you misused social media. And I wish you had gotten some guidance before you made that decision. But Aisha and I, we'll be more than happy to talk to you to try to rebound. And that's not something that we were, advertised on the show to play it or anything. I really truly want to help you out because I think you are talented and you really mean well.
Right. I get what you were trying to do. I get what you were trying to do.
But you missed it. She missed it. So for the audience out there, if you want to see her stuff, you can actually, I just Google Black female therapist fired, but she goes by the tagline Unusually Bree, 2 E's, Unusually Bree. And you can see all of her stuff and the evolution of her reaction, to the initial video and the risks that she took out there. But there's some hard lessons out there to learn. And I hope she learns those lessons soon. I hope she recovers.
Me too.
But like
she's still young. I would hate for this to ruin her career. Like she in my mind, or maybe I'm just old, but she's still young.
I'm looking forward for her to put out a video, maybe not right now, where she admits all of the things, the risks that she took, and she miscalculated things and, didn't understand the boundaries of professionalism and your personal life, and revealed a little bit too much for stuff, and it spilled over, and her employer didn't like it. And a lot of other Black folks didn't like it either, but she does have some fans. I must admit that.
She does, but this is a great case study for class.
Absolutely. So, guys, I want to thank you for watching us. Let me cue up our video because I'm just all out of sync today. There we go. Guys, thank you for joining us today on Two Therapists and a Microphone. I'm Dr. Harrison Davis.
And I'm Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
Make sure you join us every Thursday evening at 7:00 p.m. on the Our Black Media Network. And also check out our website, twotherapists.com. And there's a link up there where you can ask us a question. I really want us to get to the point where we're responding to the audience and some of the situations that they have. As I listen to it on the radio stations in Atlanta, they all have a segment like that. And the people are responding are idiots.
We have the right
DJs, and they're just not trained. But here you have two trained, licensed, experienced Black therapists who can listen to you. So check it out. Two Therapists and a Microphone, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.